to the Xbox Game Pass. Now, we basically we're wondering how is Stadia going to survive? So let me go over what this Game Pass entails. All right. So here you have the Ultimate. The Ultimate covers PC gaming, console gaming, and you get a gold membership. This is for $14.99 a month. You get the first month for $1. So I don't see. I'm definitely going to try the PC one out. So you get access to over 100 games, console and PC games. New games are added all the time, and Xbox Studio titles are the same day as release. So the more exclusives Xbox does get, the more valuable this thing becomes. Then you have the PC membership, which is $4.99 a month. And that also gets you over 100 games. And you get the titles released. It does not come with gold. And then you have the console, which is $9.99 a month. And that gives you the console games. So now let's just looking at that those prices. They're already incentivizing PC because the PC, you get the same thing and it's half the price. You're paying $4.99 for the PC.
More than half the price, bro.
What?
It's a third of the price.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about just the console one, which was $9.99.
Gotcha.
So okay, let's first of all, Google Stadia doesn't stand a chance against this. I mean,
not at all.
There's no way, because how much is Google Stadia right now? It's like $15 or something, or $9. They have two different ones, right? I think.
I don't think it's that. It's there's a subscription, and on top of that subscription, you need to pay for the game.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Google Stadia is just not attractive at all from a financial standpoint, because you're paying full price for the digital game still.
Yeah, unless it's a exclusive that they're going to come out with, which they don't really have any right now. So I think this is a Google Stadia killer. That's what I think this is. And it also shows that, yes, your hunch is correct. They are incentivizing PC play more. And so now I can tell you how I feel about this. I don't care. I've been a PC gamer since the 90s. Or actually, yeah, since the 90s.
You're a PC gamer since the womb, bro.
Since the womb, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, StarCraft came out in 98. My parents bought me a copy the day it came out. So I've been a PC gamer forever.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft 2004. I played that for many, many years. So I know how I feel, which is PC gamers like me have always been saying that PC is the way. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I own consoles and love consoles too. Yes. And the reason why is because for the last 5 years, it's damn near impossible to buy a physical copy of a PC game now. So if you're a collector like you and me, then console really is the only game in town. So now that leads me to what you think about this, because as a collector, as a very strong collector, I mean, we can see the wall behind you. You're a massive collector. So how do you feel about the prospect of losing this, losing the ability to collect all these games for consoles if it's going towards PC?
So, I mean, it's disappointing. Just the future that we're going through. It's not to mean that, I can't adapt to it. It's just, you have to adapt in certain ways. That's true to yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
And true to myself is literally waiting for sales, because buying digital games at full price, it seems silly to me. I don't see the value in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to say that, but with a physical copy, it's an investment, and for certain games, that investment grows. A lot of the wall behind me, they're worth more than they were new and unopened when they first came out.
Yeah.
You know, and so I see the value there, not just in the game itself, but also ownership of the game. When it comes to digital, I'm wary of it. And my examples for being wary are something like Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Where, I purchased that day one. And that's a rare occurrence, but I was so excited for it. I was like, I need to play this game. I purchased that day one. I think it was $14.99, $19.99. And, Ubisoft took it off the market. They took it off the digital landscape. So people aren't even able to access it anymore. And most recently, that happened with DuckTales. The DuckTales remastered.
Yeah.
They took it off the digital storefront everywhere. And like people were scrambling to buy it physically. And the prices rose considerably because people are like, there's no other way to play this game.
Yes.
And so ownership rights is incredibly important to me. And I feel like we're giving that those rights away when we succumb to a completely digital storefront or digital culture.
Yes.
I don't know how to state that. But at the same time, like, I have Netflix. I don't mind watching all my movies on Netflix. And here's the thing, when there is a movie that I really like, I do buy it physically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I have it available to me even when it's off the whatever digital marketplace I'm trying to watch it on.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll take it off Amazon Prime and then it'll be like only for rent. So it's like, why pay for something and rent it each time I want to watch it when I can own it in one flat fee?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult for me to move into a digital storefront. So that's why I say I think PC is the way to go rather than console, because just look at the console generations. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of games are locked to their specific consoles. I've been collecting for Sega CD and Sega Saturn, and there's a lot of games there that aren't available anywhere else.
Nope.
And take, for instance, the Wii Marketplace. The Wii Marketplace was pretty awesome. I love the Wii Store. The Wii eShop, and I bought a lot of games before they actually closed it down. That's no longer available anywhere except for through illegal channels, which I don't use.
Yeah.
The morality of that can be discussed at another time, but I just don't use it.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to own them, and I owned them on my Wii U through the Wii Marketplace. But what if my Wii U breaks?
Yep.
Those games are gone. I can't re-download them.
Nope.
And then that's what plays into this digital future. It's like with PC and Steam, I trust that architecture, and I trust purchasing games through Steam and how the time that they've been available and they've been consistent is important, and it's a selling point.
Yeah, they've been, dude. I mean, I believe I've had a Steam account for over 10 years, probably. It's
I'm dreading the day that PlayStation does something and gets rid of the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation PSP and PlayStation Vita games off of their digital marketplace.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft did that already with their Xbox 360 arcade titles.
Yep.
Which you know about.
Yeah, and
so historically speaking, a lot of digital only content disappears at the whim of the publishers.
Yes.
And I don't like that. When you have ownership of something, you actually can, play it. Yeah. I can go ahead and get Secret of Mana on my Super Nintendo, play it, no install, don't have to worry about that, straight up.
Yeah, and I do want to bring up a important fact that the video you sent me, the what's the guy's name?
Radical
Reggie. He brought up a good point. He was like, what if 10 years from now, right, it's all digital, and they made Silent Hill, right? And everybody loved it. It was a great game. And then they pulled it from the market. And then Konami was like, pretty much what they're doing now. They're like, yeah, we're not going to make any more Silent Hill games. And everyone's like, oh my God, I can't play it. I mean, that's what's going to happen to a lot of titles if what we have seen happen continues to happen. And
it already with Konami, and well, you can say PT was a demo, okay? PT's a demo, so it doesn't have to stay on the marketplace. I totally get that, though. I loved it, and I would love to have access to it.
Yeah.
But Castlevania the Adventure Rebirth. That was available only through the Wii Marketplace, through the Wii eShop. You can't play it anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of the Castlevania collection. You're only playing Castlevania the Adventure from the Game Boy version. Mm-hmm. But the Wii remake mm-hmm. was so good. It's a lot of fun. Me being a huge Castlevania fan, and it's not available anywhere else.
Yeah, like for me, the sore spot, like you said, was Xbox 360 arcade.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with a remastered version of Marvel Origins, and which is basically Marvel superheroes versus Marvel superheroes versus Capcom, I believe. I'm probably butchering the title, but I have Marvel Superheroes, the first one on the arcade 1-up, and that's just Marvel Superheroes. But then there's another version where they have Capcom characters. So they remade that, and then they had you know what? They also remade Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yes.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, they were only on the Xbox 360, and were they on the PS
PlayStation Network? I don't know. I predominantly used the Xbox 360 marketplace before.
Yeah, but they were up there, and then they took them down because Capcom lost their license with Marvel, so they had
Same thing with the X-Men arcade game. I actually had the X-Men arcade game, the Brawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had that digitally, downloaded, and then I sold my Xbox 360, and then I got another Xbox 360 like a couple of years back, and I logged into my account. I'm unable to download it.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then there's the whole fiasco.
I need to double check.
There's a guy on YouTube. I think his name is Smoke Monster. He's a pretty hardcore arcade guy, and he like, there's a video on YouTube, you can watch it. It's a great video where he just goes through his modded Xbox 360, and it's like incredible what he has on there. But all these titles he's going over, you can't get them anymore. They're gone. The only way you can get it is a modded 360, and let me tell you, it's not easy or cheap to do that, because I have one. You can't.
Yeah, I remember when you got it.
Yeah, you can't just do it on your own. You need someone who knows what they're doing to do it, and then you have to like it. It's a huge thing, but yeah, I mean, if we go digital only, we're gonna lose a lot of games, and we're gonna lose a lot of history.
So I don't know if you remember, and I can't recall the actual game I was playing, but I remember when I first started getting into mobile gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And mobile gaming, I didn't even have like a smartphone in order to play mobile gaming. I had one of those iPods,
mm-hmm.
those iPods with like video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I bought like a lot of games like that, and I was hooked on these tower defense games, funny enough, that we were talking about earlier. And I would come back home after like work or school, and I would just lie down on a couch and I would just play these mobile games, and I would get like hooked and just play them. And it was kind of like a cycle, if you will.
What about Unicorn Attack?
Super Robot Unicorn Attack, or Robot Unicorn Attack? Is it Robot Unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game was awesome.
That game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The endless runners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would work for me on a console, but they worked for me digitally, like either on my iPod or my iPad.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is the games I was playing them, and this is just a personal anecdote, so it could be different for people, but I'm just explaining how I feel. In that, as I was playing these games, I noticed that I wasn't really going anywhere with them, and even when I was playing RPGs, I didn't feel like they were as meaningful to me. And I'm talking about RPGs made for mobile. I'm not talking about RPGs that were ported to mobile, kind of like something like Chrono Trigger or something like that. And I didn't find the value of them to be there, even though they were cheap. The barrier of entry was like $1.99, 99 cents sometimes. Like I remember Doodle Jump. That was like a fun game, and I would just spend hours on it, just trying to max out my score. They were like arcade games.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I feel is happening is that when with games going to a digital landscape, the value of the game and the accessibility of the games will blow up like they are in terms of the Switch eShop. And there's a lot of trash on the Switch eShop. And so I find it very difficult to even peruse that digital landscape.
Yeah.
And see, what stands out from the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And of course that's subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective.
But that's what I'm trying to get at is that on mobile I was enthralled and I played the games and I probably, I played so much of them and spent so much time on them that they were probably worth more than what I spent on them.
Yeah.
But ultimately at the end of the day, all those experiences kind of melded together, and that lowered the value of it for me in terms of gameplay, in terms of time spent on it, to the point where I just don't even really play mobile games.
Yeah.
I don't find it that fun, even though those experiences could be similar to something that you find on the Switch, because some mobile games are coming to the Switch eShop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some good games that are on mobile, like PUBG, Fortnite. There's a League of Minecraft. There's a League of Legends game, and that's on. I play that on my phone all the time. So
that speaks to the type of gamer you are.
Yes. Now there are some games that you can take from a PC and shift them to mobile, and they just work. But then there's a lot of games that don't, and so I get what you're saying. The satisfaction is not. It's just not there, and
not at least for me. I'm speaking specifically about my experience.
Yeah, no,
that's what's kind of informing how I feel going forward with the digital landscape. That I would like to go ahead and maybe invest in a decent computer that can play games well, and a wide variety of games, like and probably have to upgrade it every so often, but and then purchase whatever games I do want on sale.
Yeah, and so that brings me to the next thing. So we have companies like Limited Run, Super Rare Games. What was the third one that we order from sometimes?
Strictly Limited?
Yeah, Strictly Limited. So we were talking about this earlier.
Signature?
Yeah. They can only survive as long as the console can read media. Right? So let's say 10th generation consoles come out and they're discless and they're only digital. So even those companies can't survive anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, and they don't even make computers with they don't even sell computers with CD drives anymore. It's all USB or whatever.
So one thing that I could give out to, at the very least, Limited Run, I don't know about everyone else, but Limited Run, they have steadily been shifting their focus, and not completely, don't get me wrong, but they've been steadily shifting their focus to highly sought after older games and having what's it called, like really high class reproductions of those games. A great example is Shantae on Game Boy. They are remaking that game physically for the Game Boy, so you could purchase it and play it on your Game Boy, and that's catered to the retro market.
Yeah,
I mean, even then, this market, the Limited Run, is catered to the people like us that want to play retro games or that want to play physical games.
Yeah,
and it's holding up enough to the point where they, like their name, they have a limited run and they sell out of it. So obviously, at the very least, from what I can see from a business standpoint, if they're selling out of their stock consistently, I think they're holding up pretty well.
Yeah. So
and I was going to add on to that. They just did that recently with Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yes.
They released a cartridge on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah. And they also released Jay and Silent Bob, a cartridge for Nintendo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
I think limited run will be fine as long as they focus on and they are able to get the rights to games that people want.
yes. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So then that makes it more of going back to these older consoles, these older retro consoles for the physical collector.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting. I think it's going to be what I do already, which is if I want to play a PC game that just came out, I'll just buy digital, play the game, and then I'm done with it. It's still in my Steam library. I can play it when I want, but I usually don't. And then all the games that I love playing over and over again, I get a physical copy and I play it on my console. Um, if it's a console game, or if it's a retro game that I used to have and I want it, I'll buy that. I still use my Nintendo cartridges all the time. I still play my Dreamcast and my Sega Saturn.
I mean, the retro game market, we were just talking about this recently, has skyrocketed
Yeah,
ever since the pandemic. The prices have been getting pretty bad.
yeah. So it's definitely. I think the whole pandemic thing. People have opened their eyes and they've seen where it's going, and they realize, oh, hey, physical's not going to be here forever. So let me stock up on some of my favorite old games or whatever. so, so yeah, I
Have you
mean,
gotten any recently?
what?
Have you gotten any recently?
No. So I've just ordered some limited run games recently.